in there. And what happened on that day is that Scott Walker got more votes statewide as a candidate for governor than any Republican or Democrat in the history of the state of Wisconsin. And I think we can do better than that, can we? Can we do a little better than that? Yeah. It's going to take everybody in this room. Now, I don't think Scott Walker could have asked for a better partner in going through everything we've been through, all the reforms, everything we've been through in the legislature, everything that's happened in Madison. I'll tell you what, a lot of people would have wilted under that pressure. Let's face it. We've been through a lot. Let's face it. And the pressure was on for a long time. And I do not think Scott Walker could have asked for a better partner to go through all of what they went through and still been successful, not only in Madison, but out across the great state of Wisconsin, than he could have with our next speaker. Please welcome the great Lieutenant Governor.
The governor's partner. Well, over the last several days, I have brought all of the nation's governor's partners right here to southeastern Wisconsin, where I am hosting our Republican Lieutenant Governors Association national meeting. And we lieutenant governors understand that we're traditionally not as well known as our counterparts, and everybody understands that. And I understood that coming into this job, except for there was that one day. You remember when all of a sudden 800,000 people knew who I was because they all signed a petition to recall me. Instead, they made me the only lieutenant governor in national history to be elected twice in my own. We never could have done it. We have 84 days till November. Friends, do you have the shoulders, the strength, and the training to lift us up once again and tear through that finish line so we get 4 more years? For this great state of ours, we could not be more excited about what is to come. But let's revisit for just a second what was in the past. Because you remember the first time we did this all together. Remember back in 2010 when we faced that deep deficit in the middle of that deep recession, $3.6 billion when the governor and I were sworn into office. Do you remember that deficit? Under Jim Doyle and Mary Burke as his Commerce Secretary. And we said to you, we're not going to raise your taxes to fix this, guys, because we understand you're in the middle of a deep recession. You need to recover the same as the state budget needs to recover. And instead what we're going to do is we're going to be really smart about this. And that's exactly what we were able to do. Under the leadership of Governor Scott Walker and your brave legislators, we fixed that $3.6 billion budget deficit. We did it without raising taxes, and now we've had 2 surpluses back-to-back. This latest one, $912 million. Of your future. You're in charge future. It's why it's so important that you have a governor who is investing in education. A governor who understands that you want something predictable, something that you can count on, something that you can depend on in the future. It's why he froze tuition at UW System Schools for 2 years. And he wants you in Wisconsin to stay on top of what your children are learning in school, and that is exactly who he is putting in charge come this fall when your legislators go back to work. Doesn't it feel good to have a governor and a legislative majority that want you in charge? And they want you. They want you there. And they also want you in charge of your own money. That's why over the last 4 years, this governor has signed into law $2 billion in tax cuts. Does it feel good to keep more of your own money?
Hell yeah!
I'm just checking on that. Because when we had that $912 million surplus that came to us because we knew that our friends and our neighbors were going back to work and that we were doing better as a state, we knew that the vast majority of that money had to go right back to you, the hardworking families of our great state. And that's why this year alone, the North Wisconsin family can start to count on $681 of your own money. You can start budgeting that for today. Now, here's how that works out. $681 through April through December. The average Wisconsin family is going to keep about $58. The government's going to stop sweeping that off the top of your paychecks. It's going to go into your bank account, your paychecks. You add that to the $58 that you all are going to see in an income tax cut, plus the $101 you guys are getting in that property tax cut that the governor has coming for you. Add it all up, $681 of your money you can start keeping. $681 is not chump change, guys. That's real money that can make a real difference in your family budget. $681 can buy you 195 gallons of gas. Right? At today's prices. Last week probably wouldn't have gone so. $681 would buy you 342 packages of butter at the Quick Trip butter sale. But their limit is 5, so you have to drive around if you want to spend all $681 at the Quick Trip butter sale. $681 will buy you 227 fancy cups of coffee. Right? It's nice. Coffee drinkers in the crowd. Right? Wow, this is an excited crowd. We get cheers for coffee. But my point is, guys, it's your $681. You get to choose how to spend it, not the politicians in Madison. Our own money went from $3.6 billion budget deficit. You've had back-to-back surpluses. You've got this really great rainy day fund. You're freezing tuition for 2 years at the UW system. That's all really great, but what else have you done for us? But wait, there's more. That's the exciting thing. All of our economic indicators proving that your friends and neighbors are going back to work are all on our side. Guys, our initial unemployment claims, when folks need to help ends meet, when they're between opportunities, are down to the lowest level they've been in 12 years. People are doing better and going back to work. Our exports, once again, are at record numbers. And today, we have more than 22,000 brand new small businesses that have opened their doors to the state of Wisconsin. Starting their own businesses. And they know that there is great opportunity in that because we are the best in the whole upper Midwest when it comes to those businesses surviving. Do you know that we have the best survival rate after 10 years for small businesses in our whole neck of the woods? After 10 years, 41% of our small businesses are still open and still hiring their friends and neighbors. That's great news for the people of Wisconsin. Great news for the folks who want to come and enjoy our prosperity in Wisconsin. But what about that prosperity? What does it actually look like? I'll tell you what. We are number 7 in the country in per capita income growth. People in Wisconsin are doing better, keeping more of their own money, and in charge, finally in charge of the ship. Thanks, Governor Scott Walker. We need to continue to move forward. We cannot move backwards. Do you agree that if we have 84 days, we need to sprint to the finish? Put Governor Walker, your brave legislators, on our shoulders and make sure that we have 4 more years.